Hi, this is David.
I'm George.
And I'm Ori.
And this is Tabletop Animators, a show where we watch and react to board game Kickstarter videos and discuss the ins and outs of what we love about them, what could have been done better, how successful they were in getting us to check out the page, and even behind the scenes.
And we got 3 great videos again for you to watch today with us. Can't wait.
All right, so who wants to start this time? David?
Yeah, sure, I'll go. I got a video from a few weeks ago. It is Scarface 1920. It's just a solid one with really good kind of 3D presence, and they did a good job. So let's check it out.
Roll the tape.
Welcome to Chicago, famous for its propensity to fires, for Alice, the zoo's drunk elephant, and for the holiest saint in the USA, the inventor of the hot dog. Oh, and for this. That year, politicians in Washington, D.C. banned the sale and distilling of alcohol in every state. Some even thought this would put an end to liquor. They were wrong. 4 bosses have shown up to divvy up the whole business. Arnold Rothstein, the brain. He has bankers and politicians all eating out of his hand. He controls betting just like Moses controlled water, but he has only one commandment: no debts allowed. Stephanie St. Clair, a queen crowned in Harlem. Don't be fooled by her image as a protector of the helpless. She's one of the most cold-hearted badasses in the country. To all those who have dared to touch any of her people, she's told them how to sing the blues. Dean O'Banion, the whiskey king. Only a paddy like him would use a florist shop as a front. That way he can sell wreaths for the coffins of all those who were brave. And of course, there's him. He succeeded in uniting the Italians under his rule and is ready to become the most famous man in America.
What a transition, huh?
So good.
Many of you will ask yourselves how these gangs have amassed so much power, and the answer is easy. Like in any other business, 1, competent staff. It's important to surround yourself with professionals and leave all the dirty work up to them. Everybody must have a chance, even the interns. 2, care about your product. Get it from all over the world. Beer from Belgium, gin from Birmingham, Caribbean rum, or a good scotch. 3, expand your business. Never be satisfied with just one territory. Always aspire to control the entire city. A few problems might arise with the competition, so you gotta be prepared. 4, ruthless people make terrible friends, so it's best to make them your partners. You never know when you might need a favor from a politician, advice from a judge, help from a cop, or whatever this guy does. Oh, and the most important thing, if you ever see this man, you'd better run. Many have tried to grease his palm, but so far, no one has succeeded. So remember, build up your gang, hire the best, sell all you can, never get caught, and make sure that those who disrespect you pay a high price. That's the only way to become the king of Chicago. Shit.
Just so good. That
so
is
good.
Ridiculous.
First of all,
I'm so
I'd love
glad.
to hear what's your favorite thing about the video before everything else.
The editing to the and the script. Obviously, it goes hand in hand. But they wrote such a good script, and then to edit to that, and the cutting between 2D, 3D, and the little like live action shots.
Yeah, the stock footage.
It's
I
brilliant.
couldn't agree more. Those are the 3 things.
Is it stock footage, George? Because they literally write what's being said. So I was like, did they film that?
True.
Or
they could have filmed it, actually.
is
You're
it
right.
a template that you can just change the text? So
No, I'm pretty sure you're right. It's probably live action that they made to look like classic. Yeah.
Oh, meaning
And
like
they went
what, the
all out
newspaper
with it.
stuff?
I'm just so glad that you picked it because we didn't last time
Mhm.
when it was first, released. This
Right.
is a piece of art in itself, and I'm so
It is.
impressed by it. I had someone say, "Hey George, I watched your latest video." I'm like, I wish.
yeah.
This is like I was honored,
Okay.
but at the
Yeah,
same time, I'm like,
it
this
does
is
have your style. I mean, you just did
amazing.
the video for Distilled, and it also had like the tiny barrels falling down. So
And I had
So,
worked
yeah,
on
this
that
is
mob
stock.
game for TDG as well, so maybe that's why. But yeah, I was just floored by this. I watch it all the time for ideas. The script, holy script!
Yeah,
so
the script
good.
is so good.
So good.
yes.
I mean, it all starts.
That's what I was going to say as well. My favorite part by far was the script and the voice actor, which were, movie level production. It just the energy and the beat of the whole thing just was nonstop, and it just escalated and escalated. The pacing, exactly.
Yeah, because technically we all do this stuff, right? We do the 2D animation, we do the 3D animation. But yeah, it's just the script elevates it. You know, the funny stuff, the comedy in it, and then just, the whole flow of it. And actually, I wanted to ask, so generally, are you guys given a script, or do you ever help write it? Because I know I've done both. Like, I've just been handed the script, and then I've also kind of written some for the videos.
Same here. Sometimes I'm giving a script that I have to follow. Other times I have some say, and then all the way to the other extreme where I write the whole thing myself.
Yeah, that's same here.
Yeah, so I've also had like a combination from all, but I generally, what I like to do is to get a first draft from the client, especially if it's a rules heavy game. So because they know their game best, they know what's exciting about the game. So I get the first draft, especially for that. Then I break it apart and I restructure it in a way that I think would elevate it throughout the video.
Yeah, I found some clients to be hesitant when I ask them like to write the script, and if that's the case, I'll be like, even just an outline, because like you said, they know their game best, they know what they want to highlight about it, so I need to know what they know, right? We're just coming in blind, right? So as long as I know the beats you want to hit, then I can help out. But I'd imagine
I basically interrogate them.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of questions that I ask, and then based on their answers, I try to put something together. Because a lot of the people who they say they don't have the time, or like you said, they feel hesitant, they don't have the experience to write something. But this was so clever in terms of not only the pacing with the editing, like everything, every transition between in and out, and all the different things. Even just showing the game from like this part right here.
Yeah,
they have this like black and white version to also spice it up. And then,
to make that transition make sense.
Right there, yeah.
Yeah, where you have like a frame where it's in the same black and white small small frame.
So they really thought this through that way, and even like just little things like when they reveal the minis at the beginning and the light turns on, or even when they have like a spotlight on the 2D characters, like they add a lot of depth to it, even though it's 2D characters.
David, can you jump to that frame for a second?
Which one?
I think it was at the very beginning. There was like when they talk about the lady boss character, or there's that part too.
Right here.
So George, I'm wondering, how would you like that scene?
Yeah, here.
Oh, you're talking about that. I was talking about when you show the minis. 2D,
they kind of added a spotlight effect, and then they kind of reveal the card. I thought that was really well done. But also the minis, when they kind of like it's in the dark, and then they kind of go boom, and they reveal the minis.
Look how this guy's glass, like the glass is clear.
Yeah.
I love that they didn't go overboard with the 2D animation. You could have easily made them the movements a lot more pronounced and added a lot more effects, but they just felt like they needed to add some very small animations, just like you said, just the glasses, just a little bit of a swing.
They also added the atmosphere to them, right?
Yeah.
You see smoke, you see particles.
And then another one there, you see like birds in the sky.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Because the whole thing still, except for the birds, but it's such a good.
I usually go way overboard with my 2D stuff. I add so many effects. I need to pull back sometime, but I just like it. So the cigarette smoke. So it's all very simple, but very effective.
Yeah. And again, the transitions from,
I think they didn't. What you said, George, I don't think they actually went and filmed Al Capone. I'm pretty sure that was stock.
That part, yeah.
But you were talking about the newspapers.
The typewriter, yeah.
Yeah, the typewriter, yeah.
Yeah, there's so many things to love about this. But even like, the breaking up of the video into number 1, number 2, that's such an excellent way to keep you watching,
Normally I would say that the kind of intro is until you get to the game, it's pretty long, but because of the script, it keeps you engaged the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea how this game plays, but I know how it feels, and that's important. I know I'm gonna have these characters and these minis. I'm gonna, try to get over the map. I know what I'm going to get into, and I know exactly if this is the type of game for me or not. Well, if this was the game for me, I would have definitely scrolled down. But it looks like a pretty heavy game.
I would go on about the animation. The animation's great. They have the little subtle things like when all these barrels go, they're still rolling. When the cards hit the, I'm trying to get to it. Yeah, they're all kind of hitting.
It's on point.
Yeah, it's really well done.
And also, I really enjoyed the lighting of the whole thing. Like, it's just such a pleasant, soft studio professional light. I don't know. It looks really well done. Like, yeah.
So I was wondering if we can zoom into that area, David.
Which part?
Lighting, just lighting a scene.
Oh, okay.
I mean, not to get just too technical, but do you want to say a few things about how you light a scene? And George, I would also be interested to hear.
Yeah, you guys take that one, because again, that's Noah's department in Mason, so he does all this 3D lighting.
I place lights where they're gonna look really good on that card linen effect. I'm just kidding.
That's of course, the special light that follows the cards and moves around just to show it in time, or My
challenge is always balancing the HDR with actual lights, and just to make sure that they all look good.
Could you just mention what's an HDR?
An HDR is that 360 texture that basically goes around a virtual globe, and it's also used to illuminate your scene. So things like reflective materials, or even like a sheen, they just use that as a reflection, but also as information for lighting. So HDR Haven is a good website for some free ones. Plus there's other resources online, but you basically assign that in a software like Blender as your world texture, is what they call it, an environment texture, and then it lights up your scene. And most of the time, it automatically, within seconds, once you put it on, it makes things look realistic. And but then you have the challenge of lighting the rest of the scene and make sure that you can match where maybe if you're indoors or if you're outdoors, like where the sun is located, and when the how you want it. Like in this case, it feels like I'm not sure I'm in a specific room necessarily with this lighting, but this lighting is very product studio shot kind of feel.
Sure, yeah.
But very, very well done. They have when your eye is drawn into this particular, composition wise, it just really helps me draw my attention to where they want me to, and everything, like the shadows are nice and soft, and the reflectiveness of the table is perfect.
They went for a very photoreal look, which is great.
Yes, very photoreal, and that's actually what HDR for the most part helps do, is make things look very photorealistic.
Mm-hmm. Like I know for us, one challenge is always, you got your lights for this scene with the game behind you, but then when you bring stuff close to the camera, you need to make sure those stuff are lit as well without affecting what's behind. So I know
sometimes a different scene for me for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know in Maya we can do things like light linking, where you can put in lights that only affect certain objects.
Oh yes, that's true. They could probably do that way.
Mm-hmm.
But you asked about it in general, like from filmmaking, I try to use the 3 light rule type thing. Have a little bit of a hair light, like behind the object, especially if it has like a miniature, and then you have the front, and then you kind of adjust them in a way that you would like when you're interviewing someone in real life. I try to do that for the most part. Depending if it's I also try sometimes to think if it's a miniature that's a villain, to light them in a way that's more menacing, like a little light from below or whatever. Like that works really well in miniatures. It's harder to do with cards or flat things, but
we're using the same properties as as in real life. Right? It's all the same kind of.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
That's really interesting. Okay, so do you want to move to the next one?
Yeah, let's do it. Which one's next? We've got Soul Raiders. That's
good to see.
I brought this one. Yeah.
Let's go.
I can hear their ceaseless wailing, their fearsome howls from beyond the grave. We thought we were prepared, with our spells and our techniques, safe within the walls of our sanctuary. But nothing could have prepared us for what was unleashed when the gate to Limbo was breached. How many centuries were spent to instigate his scheme, to amass this horde now descending upon us? There's no time left for questions, but it may not be too late to save the people of Kyphros. I will protect them, as I swore to do. I am one of the last ramparts that stands between them and the Lord of Dreams. I am a Soul Reader. First, I'll have to start by getting myself out of this. Curses! They're closing in on all sides. This is going to take every ounce of energy I have.
Save your magic, Eniko. I'll calm these savage creatures.
Let's go. Here's the portal. Adonis is on the other side. I'm going through. Ha! Just a second. If I turn it this way, then... There! It's open! I don't think we've been through here yet.
Fighting has its charm. But sometimes it's better just to sneak by. So, we discover what they've been preparing at last.
But we could never have imagined what awaited us.
We are Soul Raiders.
Our fire never fails. Our ramparts do not crumble.
And we will slay the night itself if we must.
Very nice.
So
Very
what
crafty.
I liked best about this video was how much they managed to get out of 2D images with the 3D,
Yeah.
with turning them into 3D. Now the beginning parts, I don't know. There's a lot of templates and add-ons that or plugins that do this effect, this parallax effect. You sort of need to draw 3 masks. What's farthest away? What's the medium distance? And what's close up? And then it just turns into a 3D image, which takes a long time to render.
They do.
This stuff looks so
It
convincing.
feels like it's almost on a 3D model there.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking too.
This one is
points
just
where I'm like,
it's a very right model for that, because it just has the movement, it has the action, but you'll notice that you don't actually reveal anything that wasn't revealed yet. It just stretches it out, but it's so convincing.
Yeah, I see that with
So
the
well
back.
done. And the tentacles too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this one.
That one is
This looks so close, so much closer to the camera as you're coming into it. Yeah, you're right.
It's very well done.
Yeah, it is
Like
crazy.
this bridge looks 3D to me.
Yeah, same here. Like getting this parallax to look realistic. Well, while the posts are staying in the right spot.
Yep. I think they have a
I
layer.
see that one moved. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can spot like minor
Yeah, when
warpings
you
here
look,
and
when you look at
there.
it like that, but on first watch, I was like, wow, this is really well.
I know the software you're talking about too. I'm waiting for it to go. There's a deal coming, I think, next week.
No, what's it called?
What's it called again? 3D something? One
Oh,
second.
cool.
There are
Projection
many
3D?
projection. I don't know. Could be. I'll look into that because there's just many ways to do it. I tend to do it manually just because then I can control the render times. Otherwise, it just takes ages. But I really, really liked what they did with the characters here. So here, this is really good.
Yeah.
I mean, there they have just enough layers that they separate. Like that's what I think they did. They separate the arms. They colored in the back, so it looks like it's moving, but it isn't. And all the wavy hair is just, I think, very simple wave modifiers that just make the image go like this. That's at least what I do for hair and for cloaks
okay.
and for
Yeah.
stuff like that.
And I really enjoyed the talking of the characters and
Yeah.
kind of like playing through the game section there. That was really fun.
And I love this, how it's just pulling back and showing each
Yeah.
different chapter or whatever. Very cool.
While it's pulling out, you just see
Yeah.
how much content you're getting from this.
Yeah.
Is the box like a book or is it a book?
It looks like a book.
But yeah, the box looks like a book. I would assume that's the box.
Yeah, this was a refreshing video for me. I like that they didn't
Mhm.
follow the typical structure that, we also tend to follow sometimes.
Yeah,
I mean, there was like the intro story and then there was
Sure.
the gameplay, but the way they decided to approach it, I thought
yeah. The
was really
gameplay
cool.
was different. Like it was,
Yeah.
it was a cool thing to kind of show through the characters' perspectives, like their abilities and stuff. I think some of it, again, without knowing the game, lost me a little bit. Like when certain things were happening, I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but I get the feel of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this part just gets you.
This is so good. This is, you just need to get the right image that would work for this effect because some images just won't work.
Yeah.
And here, I mean, the bar scene, I think, is important to note if you go back to the bar scene, that not all the layers are vertical. I mean, you have the image and you separate it to layers, and then you have, the people, the benches, the fireplace. Sorry. But the floor, if you would just leave it as a vertical floor, then it would warp in a very weird way. So what you need to do is, I shouldn't show like an invoice here. What you do is you take the layer, you flip it 90 degrees, and then you stretch it out.
Yeah.
Like those, those floor paintings that people do, and it looks like an illusion of a hole in the ground. So that's what you need to do. And then it looks the same as if it was vertical, but it gives that a 3D effect, that it feels like they're actually on the floor at the same spots.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you see it kind of stretching. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, really well done.
That's a good illusion.
Do we know who did this one?
It says at the bottom of the page. We also haven't talked about the creators for the previous
That's right. Yeah.
video.
When did this one come out? This week?
Yeah. I mean, I think 2 days ago or something like that. Go up. So I think it's motion designer. I think that's what they mean. Haven't heard of him.
Good job, Cedric.
Cedric and Theo. Very good.
Good job.
Excellent job. Yeah, we can hold on. We can just go back and see if we forgot to check Scarface.
Yeah, I mean, Scarface.
I remember if I looked.
I think I did last time. I don't think I saw.
It feels weird. I mean, it looks like there was more people that worked on it rather than just like one
Oh
person.
yes, I do remember because I was trying to find them. Lag, the name Lag.
Okay.
Lag.
Okay,
and I try to find them with Lag. And
I think this is like a whole company, like a video production company.
You know that they had a lot of
resources
for this video for sure. All right,
yeah.
Great job.
I think they also might be, not related to the board game industry. That's just my guess. And they just got this project and they went full in with it because it's such a high production value.
And how is Soul Raiders doing?
It's doing pretty good, yeah. I mean, I would definitely look into this because this just looks like a fun role-playing like game, story-driven. I mean, this looks awesome, and it can be played solo, which is also a plus.
So obviously, we would all scroll.
Yeah, I would as well. It's very interesting, and it made me feel like it feels like a video game at first too, with the graphics and the intro, and just the way that the voice actors were handled, and yeah, it draws me into the world.
Awesome. All right, want to move on to our last one today?
Yeah.
We're looking at a
vintage classic.
This is one of the reasons I do what I do.
Okay.
Let's watch it first.
All right.
Just a disclaimer before, we said this before. This video is one of the ones that always gets called out for I want something like this from clients. Clients would always say, I want something like brass. So
it's a long one too. It's almost 4 minutes.
Mr. Cuddington and Roxley, it was the pinnacle for me when I saw that this can be done for Kickstarter board game videos. It was just mind blowing, and ever since then, everyone asks for it.
Without further ado.
Because honestly, I don't know if I ever saw this in the past. This will be my first time. Well, let's watch it.
A circular machine of new design, in conic shape. It draws and spins a thread without the tedious toil of needless hands. John Dyer, our first water-powered cotton mill. But selling cotton requires someone in need of a shirt, so we established a canal route along the River Mersey in search of a distant market. 5 years has passed, and my ambition has grown faster than my fortune. No rest will be had for any of us until I gaze upon the beautiful ruin of our competitors by harnessing the power of steam. We will not stop building until the whole of Lancashire is ours, and then we will expand south to Birmingham. Because where there is muck, there is brass. Designed by Martin Wallace and originally released in 2007, Brass is an economic strategy game that tells the story of the ambitious cotton entrepreneurs of Lancashire during the Industrial Revolution. Marking Brass's 10-year anniversary, Roxley is re-releasing this timeless masterpiece with meticulously crafted illustrations by Damien Mamoletti and Mr. Cuddington. And also, after a year of heavy development, Martin Wallace and Team Roxley are excited to bring you a true sequel to the original, Brass Birmingham. If you've played Brass in the past, learning how to play Birmingham will be a snap, as it uses most of the same core rule set. Together, Brass and Birmingham include 2 map boards, 80 wooden cubes, 15 beer barrels, 16 wooden discs, 8 player boards, 140 money tokens, 128 cards, and over 400 tiles. Your contributions to the project will help unlock new content, component upgrades, and game-enhancing stretch goals, making Brass a truly industrial revolution.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
Such a classic. I mean, how long ago was this, right? Like,
Yeah.
How long ago was it?
it has to be at least
Check the date on the campaign.
Sure.
6 years. There must be.
But this literally blew the door open on the potential of Kickstarter videos.
Doesn't it usually say like funded whenever?
Yeah, top, go up, go up, go up. Yeah,
Yeah.
last,
Well,
no.
that's updated.
Pledge.
Yeah, anyway.
Well, we know it.
Yeah.
It's at
Years
least
ago.
2 years.
I remember watching this, and I remember before even doing professionally videos under Oniro, I remember starting a YouTube channel, and I was doing these Oniro style videos where they were like, I was inspired by this so much that I took a copy of Brass and I just filmed cinematic live action footage of the game, and I did the same with Santorini. I have a soft spot for Roxley, not only because they live in their
Yeah, they're
located
your
in Calgary,
neighbors, right?
and we're
Okay.
friends now. But I was so in love with their games and what they were doing with this. I like Mr. Cuddington to me was like this person I was so scared to reach out to because I thought they were like gods to me, and they still are, by the way.
You're talking about Lena and David?
Yeah, Lena and David are so creative. They are just some of the most genuine people I had. When I started talking to them, they were just open and helpful, and I was just blown away. And I've studied their work so much, and I'm not afraid to say it, copied their work so much because I was just like, there's nothing
I think
better.
the term is inspired.
Inspired by, yeah. Hopefully, what's that
Yeah.
phrase they say? It's like the best form of compliment. Yeah, I mean, but like you said before, Ori, yeah, I've had customers. I mean, if you watch the Fantasia's Endless Winter video, it's very heavily inspired by Roxley videos to the point where we even use the same voice actor because
Oh, wow.
they really, really loved them so much. And they, but that framework of storytelling in this video, for instance, I just loved how they threaded the gameplay with the story at the beginning. Like you got a very good idea. Like I don't know if you've ever played Brass, but you know, the first animation, like showing everything in the voice actor talking about what they were doing, that's the feeling you get when you play the game, because time passes and then things change.
Nice.
I just love that part so much.
Interesting. I have to say, the first time I watched it, if you go back to the first shot,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was pretty sure it was 2D, and thought it was just
Yes.
zooming into a 2D image, and then all of a sudden I'm like,
Oh,
hey,
this-
that's
Yeah.
not a parallax
Yeah,
effect.
no.
Wait a
Yeah.
second, what's going on here? I mean, whatever's outside is a 2D image, but then it gets closer, and then you can see,
Yeah.
oh my god, this is 3D.
Isn't it amazing?
So, funny story for me about this video is this was way back when I started, and I got my first client asking for a video like this. And I didn't use Blender back then. So I tried to recreate something similar with After Effects.
Me too.
And it was very painful and very, very hard.
I can imagine, yeah. That would be.
Because everything is just a flat plane. You can't show. So actually what I did was to create a 3D fake effect, I took like a meeple. There was a meeple of a ship, and I gave it a drop shadow and another drop shadow and and I gave it like 50 drop shadows
Yes.
that move together with the camera movement just to give
my
it a
gosh.
3D feeling. It took,
That
it was
sounds crazy.
impossible.
I did the same to make a coin in 3D in After Effects, and it literally has 50 versions of the same coin, so it looks like it has actual depth. This is before using like video co-pilots, like 3D software, anything like that. But you're right. I also tried the same thing. But it's
so
such an
funny.
inspiring. It still holds to this day for me. Like, it's very strong. I know, knowing Roxley now, and like if you look at all their latest videos that they do, and I'm very honored to also be a part of the the team that helps with the videos now. They've come such a long way. I mean, but this is one of the earlier ones, and I'm just still blown away by it. And
Yeah, and Gavin, that's in charge of Roxley, he has such a passion for filmmaking. I had a chat with him, and it was just amazing to hear how much effort and love he wants to put into the videos, because they show the passion that's behind the games. And up to the last one you did for the Cyberpunk game, Radlands, and it had you doing the live action, and there was another guy for the 2D and for the
involved
and the soundtrack. And he told me it started with the soundtrack.
Yeah,
the soundtrack that inspired it, and that's true filmmaking, and that's I
Gavin
really loved it.
He's a visionary. Like, he is. You don't find people like that often, and he is truly a visionary. He can see things before they happen, in a way, and he can help guide the team. And like everyone's talents, he's picked the people he's picked for a reason, and everybody coming together. Yeah, I'm always amazed, and I can't wait to see what they all do next. And everyone's just super nice and creative and welcoming, and yeah, I'm just floored. I had to pay tribute to this one because not only am I a very, very fond of everyone involved, but it was influential to me. And that's when I'm like, I one day want to get to this level, this was.
Oh yeah.
If you were
the lighting, look at the lighting. It's so good.
Yeah.
If you were to do this video now, would you do it almost 4-minute video, or would you tighten it up?
Well, when does it change? Show me the point where it changes from the animation to the.
Yeah, but then it goes back, right?
Yeah, but I think that's a drop-off point.
Right here, so 2 minutes.
Okay.
Honestly, I think Roxley likes the length, and they like to make sure they cover a lot of different aspects of it.
Yeah, well, because this was not only the game; it was also like the sequel, and kind of bridging that gap. Or was the original a new edition too? Because that looks totally different, right?
Yeah,
so that's the original, and then they did a new version, and then the sequel as well.
Yeah, that was the original Martin Wallace one, and then they kind of, reworked some things. Gavin, Matt Tolman, and then they also worked on the sequel.
Yeah,
but I remember this time, and they worked tirelessly on making sure, because Brass was such an important game. not only to them but the community. So I think they really wanted the fans of the original
for
to
sure.
just and I mean, not only did the Kickstarter do well, but now it's still like one of the top games in people's lists.
Yeah, it's on my list to play. I've been
Yes, I feel like the length merited. It was fine. They had a lot to cover, and they needed to give it the stage it deserved. So it's not like, and you see, it doesn't get boring. Okay, they always have something new to show. That's why I always say the length of the video isn't really important, as long as it just doesn't get boring. The video is it
needs to justify itself.
Yeah, it needs to justify it. It needs to be as long as it needs to be.
Exactly.
If you can get it shorter, then get it shorter, because that means it can be shorter.
Exactly. Yeah, but I just love all the props and the room and the environment too. Like that was one of the first times I've seen that too, because I was doing videos in After Effects at the time too, and I'm like, I didn't have any cool environments, and it was just so cool to see that. Where I'll just so many things I could talk about, but
thanks for bringing this one back.
I would scroll, obviously.
Oh yeah, I scrolled a lot down. I mean, the GIFs were also amazing. That was the first time I've seen animated GIFs at that level.
Well, let's talk just briefly. Like, I feel like Roxley reinvented Kickstarter. The way they do their pages, it's always just so incredibly designed. Every single game, and again, that's another thing I get from people. Can we recreate that? Like if I offer Kickstarter pages to some of my subscribers, they're like, Roxley is like top of their game when it comes to some of these like Kickstarter pages.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, Gavin is his background in like graphic design, and he just has this aesthetic. He understands things like this so well. I asked him to design my logo.
Oh.
Which of course he had no time for. He's like, actually, your logo is fine. I'm like, thank you, Gavin.
Well, his seal of approval should mean something.
And I absolutely love the animals. The Roxley animals. I have one of those. I'm very proud of it. I'm a dolphin, actually.
Really? I need to see that. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's another awesome campaign. Nice. But yeah, they're so cool. They do that for every
David
team.
and Lena, and then I assume Joseph, the videographer. They were the ones who did it.
Yeah, so well done.
Awesome.
Well, thanks for going through this journey again with me. I love this so much.
It was a pleasure. Well, that about wraps it up for today's episode. Thanks for watching, and if you want to contact any of us, please visit our information in the description below.
And as always, please let us know if there's anything that you want us to watch and review or react to. If you have any suggestions, if you have any questions, let us know.
And if you enjoyed what you saw and you want to see more, please give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon to be notified when we post new episodes. So until next time,
stay
animated.
Screen.
Who has time to edit this one?
Oh boy.
I'll take it. I haven't done it yet, so.
Yeah. If you want to contact any of us, you can find all of our information in the description below.
Oh shit, it's me, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's George.
Edit.